Well, here we are back out on the bench in the garage. Just want to show you some of my update of what I've been doing. As far as my diorama is concerned, right now I've completed the top portion of the flight deck of the USS Enterprise with the tongue depressors that I had cut and hot glued into place. So this is basically the finished product on that, as you can see. I also put a couple pieces here. You can see we get the light here a little bit in the front as well. So right now I'm going to be in the process of actually putting some stain on this. It's a stain and sealer. I had some left over. It's basically what we'll be using is some wood yew. It's a live oak stain, and it is a stain and sealer that I've used in the past for my other furniture products. So let's go ahead and get started. Basically, I'm just going to take a brush and brush this thing on. So like I said, it's very thin, so it should go a long way, and we're just going to bring the wood out, in this case tongue depressors, and bring the color out a little bit. So kind of see, we'll do this real quick here for you. But yeah, I'll put the stain sealer on, and then afterwards I'll start detailing the flight deck once this sealer has dried, and we'll kind of go from there. So like I said, it's just a matter of applying this evenly all the way across, and like I say, it goes pretty fast. It should dry pretty fast out here in the garage too as well, because this is Florida, and we're getting into our kind of summertime weather. Fortunately right now it's raining outside, so we got some of that nice cool air coming in, so I take advantage of that too while I'm working out here. So yeah, we'll get this finished up pretty quick here, and you can see hopefully in the camera how it's bringing the color of the wood out a little bit better. Gives a little bit more defined detail and everything like that. So I'm just using like a little dollar brush here, nothing fancy, and like I said, I'm just kind of basically spreading it on real thin and quick. And yeah, we're almost finished up here. So that's basically about it for right now, as far as the step-by-step process that I'm using to get this flight deck completed. You know, pretty much have to do it in layers here, and be patient and take your time with it, and it'll all start coming together. Let's see if we can turn this thing around, and let me put this underneath here just to kind of protect a little bit. We'll do the front here too as well. And we'll just, all right. And this will kind of finish this up. Like I said, I'll go ahead and let this dry for a couple hours, and then we'll come back to this flight deck and start laying out the details. I want to kind of, put the runway stripes on, the number 6 insignia number on the front part of the flight deck itself. I'll probably end up doing that freehand, and then later on, once I get all the details with the runway stripes and the insignia number, anything else I might put on there, then I'll go ahead and put I was thinking about putting in future floor polish, since this is made out of wood. Give it a nice seal coat on there, and we'll go from there. Alright, till next time, there'll be more to come, and we'll catch you later. Well, in this video segment, we're going to talk about some water effects that I've been experimenting with using various types of mediums. First off, if you recall in my previous video, I painted a cardboard section with some purple and some turquoise, and this was actually brushed on with a paintbrush using the glazing medium from Michaels, which gave it a nice little glossy sheen to it and everything like that. So the next step in my experimentation on water effects was to actually paint the colors I'm going to use on my diorama, which I'll bring this into the picture right now. This was a basically same thing, cardboard kind of cutout, you can see here. And I was actually using some Krylon True Blue spray can in a rattle can, and I initially sprayed it with the True Blue, and then I came back with the Ocean Sea Breeze Krylon to kind of simulate the wake coming from the bow of the ship. I kind of did like a little kind of V pattern where the bow might be. And so that was my first setup, and then what I did then was to experiment with two different types of mediums. Basically on the left hand side here, see if we can get this in the picture. On the left hand side here, I actually poured some glazing medium pretty thick on this half of the cardboard, and on the second half, as you can see, like from here over, I experimented with the DAP Alex Plus, it's acrylic latex caulk plus silicone, kind of like $2 over at Ace Hardware store. And what I did here, let's see if we can bring this into focus a little bit. I basically spread the caulk on this side here, and I used a tongue depressor, and I kind of just kind of made some like little wavy motions for the first layer, and then the second layer, kind of along the edge here, I thickened it up with a bead of the caulk again, and then I took a brush and I kind of like brushed it on to try to form like little crests or waves that would essentially be like coming off the front of the bow of the ship or just in the ocean itself in general. Now, you know, when it first gets spread onto the cardboard, it's going to come out with a really kind of a white color, and over time it would become transparent. The first thing, you know, like I mentioned here, is if you're going to try this method here, get the acrylic silicone caulk that's actually clear. They do come in white and brown and other colors, but make sure that you actually get the clear tube of caulk to try to simulate the water. So this is basically kind of look at this here from all angles. This is actually after about 24 to 48 hours, where you can see some of the kind of wave patterns. Hopefully, like I said, I'm working in the garage here, but you'll see some of the wave patterns in there. It does become transparent, gives you that little texture feeling there, and basically this is what we came up with the two different sides. Now on the left hand side with the glazing medium, it's pretty smooth, but I think it does have like a kind of a few bubbles kind of came up here and there, but you know, that kind of gives a little watery effect to it as well, because you know, there might be tendency of having some sort of air bubbles possibly in the water itself. But that's my second experiment.
on this particular diorama. And as far as the third choice in hand, I went with a kind of smaller example, bring that here into the shot. What I did here was, it's a smaller kind of cutout of the cardboard, but this time I actually used joint compound drywall stuff, and I actually took a spatula, drywall knife, and I actually spread the joint compound across the cardboard with a smooth coat. Let that set up for a little while, and I came back again with a second layer, only this time I kind of made little, let me see if I can put that in there, with the drywall knife. I just kind of formed waves, basically, because this is basically what I was using on my base for my Scene-A-Rama diorama kit. Once I basically applied the joint compound on there, let that set up for a little bit, I came back and I actually painted some kills on there to seal the drywall after I washed it down, wet it down with some water to get the dust off and everything like that. Then I went ahead and I painted and sealed it with the kills primer sealer. Let that dry, and then I came back with the Krylon True Blue and sprayed that on top of it, as well as some Global Blue, another Krylon spray can, and I let that dry overnight. And so you can see it does a pretty good job on the water effect without using any kind of a liquid medium. So this is basically what I went with as far as the base for my diorama on there. So those were my 3 experiments, and I just kind of want to share it with you, and let me know what you think. So that's it for this segment of the using the different types of water effects for somebody who doesn't have a lot of money and wants to have the same water effect that you can get using some other mediums and stuff like that. So until then, we'll see you later. Next time we'll probably come up with the finale, but of my project. So until then, have a good day, and thanks for watching and subscribing. Until then, bye.